Loki, Doctor Who. I'm going to catch you up on 60 years of history, showing how Doctor Who progressed into the post-Disney era of television. Through hours of research, I have successfully isolated the formula to both Loki and Doctor Who, and will show you just how both shows have together killed and birthed a failure and success from each other. Doctor Who, as you probably already know, started on the 23rd of November 1963, led by Sidney Newman, head of BBC at the time. This BBC family science fiction drama aired its first episode with the goal to educate and entertain. However, this educational show quickly began to shift from a family entertainment show to a science fiction mainstay, dealing with heavy values and concepts such as Nazism, communism, destruction, and death. On the 29th of October 1966, viewers across the nation sat down to witness their favourite Time Lord be ripped from their hearts, or so they thought. Following an encounter with the Cybermen representing communist Russians, the Doctor rose above them in an ungodly fashion, saving the day and restoring his body in the process. It was this day the Doctor and the show was reborn, taking its next giant leap into now 60 years of history. This event in this at the time still relatively small BBC television production sent not ripples but shockwaves through time, impacting TV, film and theatre even today. The idea that a show could continue beyond its lead actor's departure, even beyond its lead writer's departure. Like a broom being changed over and over the years, it's a completely different broom with completely different pieces and parts, but it still does the same thing. Doctor Who continued to impress and evolve, setting new precedents and standards for storytelling and production. Now 1985, Michael Grade, controller of the BBC at the time, made the decision to put our beloved science fiction show on hiatus. This 18-month-long hiatus was made in an attempt to revamp the show, after it had been suffering from viewership dives and severe budget cuts. Just a few years later, on the 6th day, in the 12th month, in the 1989th year, Doctor Who aired its final episode. The show, born in 1963, was put to bed, and the nation turned its back on the very show that changed the media institutions across the world. But Doctor Who wasn't the only thing born in 1963, as a legend too came into this world. This legend was sharp, intelligent, persistent, and went by the name of Russell T Davies. Born on the 27th of April 1963, the man brought Doctor Who back to our screens in March of 2005. Broadcast on BBC One at 7 PM, the episode attracted a mega 10.81 million on just its first episode. The show was back, bigger and better than ever before, ready to once again send shockwaves through the industry, competing with big media names like Star Wars. However, as this series and the Doctors rolled by and Doctor Who once again began to slip under the radar, something deep inside its two beating hearts was brewing. An enterprise was rising. But then came something huge. As said before, Doctor Who's classic run sent shockwaves through time, impacting storytelling and production even today. And Doctor Who's very own shockwave is what led to its near final death, as it led to the creation of Marvel's Enterprise's Loki, an original science fiction TV drama with the budget and backing of Disney and tens of millions of viewers ready to watch at a moment's notice. As Loki began to rise, Doctor Who began to fall. Not necessarily in viewership, but definitely in public conscience. Loki used key concepts from Doctor Who, cliffhangers, multi-part stories, timey-wimey implications, and two versions of the same person, a British lead with charisma, drama, and flair. But like I said before, something was beginning to brew in the hearts of Doctor Who. Something growing arguably from day one, all the way back from the 23rd of November 1963. Doctor Who created its own shockwave, sending it through time, preparing to save itself, getting ready for the right man and the right time. October 31st, 2023. As Loki Series 2 continued to air, Doctor Who's shockwave caught up with itself, birthing not just a new era, but an entire enterprise. It was now the right time. Doctor Who had before taken on Star Wars, but it was now ready to compete with multimedia big names at once. Star Wars, Marvel, DC, Star Trek, Stranger Things, The Boys, and with that, a new timeline is set in motion. And a new shockwave created on the 31st of October 2023 is set rippling through time into our own futures. But who knows what that shockwave will lead to, or when that will arrive? Well, whenever it does, I know the show, the viewers, and the world will be ready.